Kirkenes, Norway was the launching point for the 2006 Nansen and Amundsen Basins Observational System expedition aboard the Russian icebreaker Kapitan Dranitsyn. This is one story from the NABOS cruise. We have compressed the 3-week expedition down to around 30 minutes. Organised by the International Arctic Research Centre at the University of Alaska in Fairbanks, on board the ship were international scientists, technicians and international school teachers selected for a summer institute. Mooring operations, including the retrieval of instruments put in the water in 2005, as well as their redeployment and the deployment of new instruments, was the prime scientific mission. The Arctic is considered especially vulnerable to global climatic changes, especially warming. It is essential that observational systems like NABOS are in place to record changes on an annual basis. Sea temperature and salinity are critical measurements, as are the thickness and extent of the polar ice cap. Satellite imagery has shown drastic reductions in the extent of the ice cover in the Arctic. In this story we will look at the mooring operations, the icebreaker itself, the Summer Institute and a rendezvous with the French vessel Tara. At the same time we will pause to show you the visual wonders of the Arctic, from the resident polar bears to the myriad of ice formations. Recovering a mooring consists of initially locating the mooring site. A ship-mounted transducer listens for the mooring transponder that will transmit a signal to the acoustic release. This frees the mooring from the anchor and allows the flotation devices to surface. Spotters are positioned around the ship so that the mooring can be ultimately hooked and brought out of the water. Ocean moorings are difficult in any area. The Arctic, of course, presents special challenges, not the least being that operations can run 24/7 with constant daylight. Let's listen into some of the live commentary as we see a retrieval and deployment as an end-to-end operation. You're looking at the helo deck on board the icebreaker Capitan Denniston. We're on station for mooring number 3. This is a deep water mooring. We are triangulating right now. And as you can see from the picture, we have about 50 or more % ice cover. So the icebreaker will have to make for us around the point of triangulation a pond, maybe 150 meters radius, that will give us a chance to spot this mooring when it comes up. The acoustic release has not been fired yet, and it won't be until we've got a sufficient pond to operate from, and then it'll be standing by. Air temperature is between 1 and -3 degrees Celsius. The wind is gusting to 13 meters a second, which means there's a wind chill factor. Decks are slippery, and after midnight it's already about 9 p.m. in the evening, maybe later. But after midnight we're expecting snow. This operation should run anything from 4 to 6 hours for the retrieval and about an equivalent amount of time for the new deployment. While we wait the acoustic release to bring us some results, you'll see we have spotters on all the decks, right up to on top of the bridge. That's basically on top of the 9th deck. There's the 8th deck. And right down here with us, we're on 5. Just above us here on 6, we have spotters. And we've got this on both sides of the ship. The ship's doing very small circles right now, and we all await the first floats that come up from this mooring, the first mooring in the left FC. Here's the helo deck. As we said we'd bring you a picture. You can see it's already starting to accumulate some of the snow. Air temperature is negative. maybe 1 to 2 degrees Celsius below freezing. Wind chill must be adding at least another 6 or 7 degrees to that. The wind's gusting to about 13 meters a second, and it makes for interesting working conditions here on the helo deck on the Capitan Denniston. There's another view of the float, still jockeying the ship around. In fact, we may reverse to that ice floe that the float is parked against. About an hour has elapsed since we last bought any pictures, but the flotation has been hooked, and by a Congo line of human labour. It's the grapple line is being brought along the port side of the ship and will soon be connected down below on the third deck to the rope on the winch, and then the retrieval operation can start. But high winds, snow and freezing temperatures are the order of the day. The first separation has taken place on the line. The strain again is taken by the rope on the capstan, and they'll bring in the first chain link, which is the 2 3-foot diameter floats and a smaller glass ball in a reinforced plastic jacket. That's being brought on board. These are chain sections. I believe the rest of the mooring has got Kevlar rope, which will be used again in the new mooring. So first separation, first pieces on board. It's after 9 o'clock on Monday. The crew that you see working here now on the deployment have been doing this now all evening, all night long. It took them until almost 8 o'clock this morning to finish the retrieval. Take a look now at some of the action on this third deck. This is where the instruments are both detached and attached. So right now there's an instrument on board on the line, and of course they now have to take tension on that line. Remember, this is an anchor first mooring, so that line beneath that instrument is under tension. So now they have to take the tension off that line. Here are the floats, 2 3-foot diameter floats. And an extra glass ball, it looks like, in a reinforced jacket. That's coming over now.